Hi, my name is Steven Lam. I'm going to show you guys how to fix and change the hard drive of your MacBook. And so first what we're going to need is we're going to need USB, and then once we have our USB, we're going to put it into the MacBook and we're going to reformat the drive so that we can turn it into a bootable disk. What I'm doing here is we're just going to look at disk utility to reformat that drive. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to go on Google Chrome and we're just going to type in the type of update that we want to update it to, and in our case it's Sierra. So we're going to look up the sudo code for that, so that once we enter it into terminal, it will just reformat the drive and copy the installer onto that USB bootable disk so that we can use it for installing High Sierra onto the new hard drive as the operating system. So a quick note here, you're gonna have to have, you see how I highlighted it red there, Untitled, that has to be the same, that code of line has to be the same as the USB that you formatted, the name of that drive. So you see how I have a drive on the top right corner of my MacBook, it's called Untitled, so the code has to be Untitled and this has to be called Untitled. So once we get terminal open, we're going to copy and paste that pseudocode into terminal, and then we're going to type in our password and then press Y as a confirmation to start this process. And now it's going to start copying over all those files over to that USB drive. And I'm going to fast forward this one. So now that we have the drive done, I'm just going to show you guys how the drive will look like. They would have changed the name to install macOS Sierra, and I'll have the Sierra on it now. And we can start to use it as a bootable disk to install the operating system on a fresh drive. So now we're going to open up the computer. We're just going to unscrew all these front screws, these backplate screws, and then we'll be able to see what's inside the laptop. And you can see that the hard drive, this MacBook is a little bit old. I didn't even install it in properly the last time I had this MacBook because it's just kind of old. So I have another drive where I forgot to unscrew these little 4 screws that you're supposed to latch into your MacBook, because I gave this hard drive to my brother. So now I'm just gonna unscrew these little. So these screws are used to basically make the hard drive stay in place in the MacBook by inserting into the holes. And to get these screws, it would already be the one for you guys, it'll be installed already on that hard drive. So once you remove that bracket, then you can get those screws and then put it onto the new hard drive. But I kind of did this step a little bit earlier because I didn't have it pre-installed. So now I'm going to show you guys the new hard drive. The hard drive is like a half SSD and half hard drive, I guess. My uncle bought it, so yeah, it's a good hard drive, I guess. And we're just gonna install those four screws into this hard drive so it can lock in place when we put it back into the hard drive, when we put it into the MacBook. So once the screws are finished in there, we're gonna kind of remove this hard drive already in place. But I kind of just taped it down last time, so yeah. But on your guys' computer, you guys will have that screw, so you're gonna have to probably do this step first because you're gonna have to get that hard drive out to get those 4 screws. What I'm thinking about doing is to remove those 2 latch handles for the hard drive so that we can insert the hard drive in once this bracket's removed. And now that it's removed, we're gonna plug the hard drive into the SATA cable. Yeah. And then we're gonna insert the hard drive into the two front holes first, and then it'll just kind of click in there. And now we're gonna screw back in that bracket to hold everything down in place so it doesn't move. And yeah, so now we're finished. And we're just gonna plug in everything back in now. We're gonna plug in the back plate, and then we're gonna start to format this drive so it has the operating system on it. Alright, so we have the new hard drive in, and now we're gonna plug in our bootable disk USB that we installed Sierra on. And when we turn on the computer, we're gonna have to hold on the options button to select which boot drive we want to load up. And we selected the USB, and it's gonna load to the recovery so we can start the installation. And so when the macOS utilities load up, we're just gonna go to the disk utility so that we can reformat this drive, just reset everything, format it, and then we're gonna start the installation after. Yeah, we can just press continue. Yeah, so now we're gonna install macOS now. Yeah, and this one we have high Sierra. We're gonna continue. We're gonna click on the new hard drive there. We're gonna keep pressing continue, and these processes are gonna take a long time. So I'm gonna speed up all of this. And the reason why I have high Sierra and not Sierra in the beginning of the video, where I showed you guys how to make the USB disk, is because I actually made that USB disk after I did all of this, after I finished installing. So yeah, it's still the same process, so it's okay. Okay, so now that the installation is finished, we're at the startup screen, and now we can just select all our initial preferences, and our computer is basically finished. And I'll just show you a little bit of this, and then yeah, thank you so much for watching.